Fantastical and surreal elements abound in Prairie Vernacular art. Jeanne Thomarat, Molly Lenhardt, and Jan Weyers each embrace a lush, detailed approach. The paintings have a dreamlike sensation inspired by imagination, memory, and stories, as well as places, people, and everyday things in the world around them. Molly Lenhardt was born near Lake Winnipegosis, Manitoba in 1914 and moved with her family to Melville, Saskatchewan. She painted as a child, through business school, and then at the back of the variety store that she and her husband ran in Melville. Molly's subjects reflect her memories of early childhood and her Ukrainian heritage. Her paintings of Ukrainian pioneers and Saskatchewan scenes are memorable for their stark, flat simplicity. Jan Weyers, born in 1888, immigrated to the United States from Holland in 1913 and worked as a night watchman in a German prisoner of war camp in Ontario, where a prisoner introduced him to painting. After the war, he took up farming near Winthorpe, Saskatchewan, painting while recovering from illness and in the wintertime. After retirement, he painted affectionate scenes of early life in Holland, farm life, and the prairies. His sources of inspiration included whatever he could find, such as newspaper clippings, calendars, and children's coloring books. We find rich hues and flattened pictorial space in Jane Zednick's This Other Eden, as well as Sam Spencer's Killsick, Leopard, and Deer. In 1901, Spencer moved from England to Punakee, Saskatchewan with his grandmother when he was 3. He learned to read and write by studying the Bible. Spencer worked as a trapper, fur trader, construction worker, and farmer. He began carving wood in 1924, using a jackknife and paring knife with a curved tip to carve high-relief scenes with sports, birds, animals, and biblical scenes. John Erlindson was born on a farm in Belmont, Manitoba, southeast of Brandon in 1906. He moved with his family to Winnipeg and became a mechanic at Eaton's for 40 years, and when he retired, he immediately took up painting. His works were created at Winnipeg's West End Senior Centre and in a large home studio. Certain dreamlike works in the exhibition suggest a spiritual reality behind the physical world. Visionary quality infuses the work of Jahan Maka, some of whose unusual works on black paper were made collaboratively with his godson, Tony Allison, and Indigenous artist Maggie Lenderbeck, each artist working from a different side in a process similar to the surrealist exquisite corpse drawing game. Through this game, as well as automatic drawing, collage, and bricolage, surrealists aim to foster spontaneity, access their subconscious, and free their work from the constraint and the purpose of high art. Some of the artists rely on their subconscious, spontaneity, and a huge variety of materials. Janet Mitchell sought to free her mind of intention while painting to produce spontaneous, joyful works such as And on This Farm. Many Dadaists and Surrealists responded to the horrors of World War I in their work, and some, like Salvador Dali, were influenced by the disquieting paintings of Giorgio de Chirico. The warped, fantastical beings and distorted spaces of Ivan Eyre's Purple Fish conjure up the works of Dali, while de Chirico's eerie, empty spaces find many prairie echoes. For example, William McCarger's Winter Highway, Don Proch's Night Rail, and Richard Gorenko's This Is How We Roll. Don Proch grew up in rural Grandview and Inglis, Manitoba. After receiving a Bachelor of Fine Arts and a Bachelor of Education at the University of Manitoba, he taught high school until 1970. His prints, complex sculptures, and masks reflect the history of prairie life, landscape, and geology. A similar playfulness of fable and fantasy is found in Amelie Atkins' Scenes from a Secret World, in which mythical people-beasts engage in strange yet oddly familiar rituals in a recognizably prairie environment. Chris Reid also draws upon both benevolent and malevolent elements of Ukrainian folklore in works such as the surreal diorama Yellow House and the myriad of decorated eggs, whose curved surfaces skew her painted scenes of modern prairie life. Learn more about the other themes in the exhibition and the rest of the AGSM Art Connects video series, which brings you up close and personal to works of art as you meet artists from the prairies.